Many of y'all came to win.
Oh, they asking my name. I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't today with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I lifting up. Never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. Groceries, competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Grape colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way.
Okay, Coach. Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the as their Jets will match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
What's that? 55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike. It's been a long day for you.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And take it right on the 30.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash. Check safety, check safety. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Hey, Charlie.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them up number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
What, 30? He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Hey, alert, 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 alert! Pilot, 64, weak.
On second and goal, Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have you're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on second and 13. To throw is Darnold. This one complete to Ingram. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And now it's second down. They work again from the 38 on second and 10. They toss to Ingram. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
180. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger complete to Washington. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play fake to Conner. Now Roethlisberger. He'll get that one complete to Conner. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
230. Number 53. Mike 53. All right, D.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Let's go.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
230.
On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Flushed out right. And incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the flash. Watch the flash. Alert.
Here's Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On second down, Ingram. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Blue draw Corker.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. And some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Darnold now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
25, check 25. Protein spill. And 80. Hey, Alpha. 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Yeah. Mike 55, Mike 55.
Now Darnold, he's going to air one out for Anderson. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson. his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Hey, Haywood!
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 28. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hey, wahoo!
To throw again is Roethlisberger. Looking for the ends. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big.
And this is caught at the 20. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. And that one results in 35 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is taken at the 3.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 18.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
53! Double bump. Switch! Switch! Whirl!
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, they'll run with Ingram. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Check 55 to Mike. Go on. Hey, Delta. Mike 55. Mike.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold going for Metcalf. And got his man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Point after, right. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Now Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Alert. 41 Mike. Hey, let's go.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 27-yard line. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Flush to his right, and his throw is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time, but it'll be 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
He'll buy some time right. Going for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
Let's go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot.
And this is going to be intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. What a season he continues to have defensively. Now a dozen interceptions this year, Charles.
And let's face it, we've watched a lot of ball. But when you get 12 in 1 year, that's better than most careers, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you might be asking for a bump in pay, too.
No doubt about it. Running right in there and talking to the team.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Now it's Roethlisberger, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon, and the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in. Extra point put through by Boswell, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find some.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 1st and 10 is counter. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
230. Go, go, go. 77.
Now it's Roethlisberger. The quick slant caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Right. This is Ingram. Up past the 25 to the 26. A gain of 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
Check. Slam.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
Watch 98. 98's the mic. Go.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Partner, we read a great article this week arguing for him to be Defensive Player of the Year. Normally, sacks are the big thing that people point to, but what he's done in the secondary has been something special.
It has been, because it's been an all-around game for him, taking the ball away, rushing the quarterback and sacking him himself, doing a number of different things that change the way the game is played.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
198. Hey, high 7. Blue there. 198. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. On 1st down, it's Connor. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop that time, Terrell Basham. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Boswell's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Ingram again. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
We're going to sign it. 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Stop your whining. 55 is my guy. 55. Let's go, D.
Back to throw, Darnold. And it's caught by Herndon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Cut. Mark 55. Lady. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Red 80. Hey, watch this.
Darnold to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.